Today we're in the northeast of the UK with the Vermeer CT1010 Compost turner. It was purchased by Andrew Thompson of Compost UK 15 months ago and has since done 1,700 hours of compost turning on this site. This is a climate controlled cab where the operator sits, and we'll be showing you a little bit more about that as the machine turns compost later on. The elevating face lifts the compost and lays it down behind the machine in a windrow operation. However, you also have the option of a discharge conveyor, where the compost lands on this conveyor system and is transported across the back of the machine to a height of 2.7 metres. The Vermeer CT1010TX Compost turner is not a drum-style machine. Now what this means is that you only require 225 horsepower to drive it. Now Vermeer have installed the well-known Cummins 6.7 litre 6-cylinder engine, which is a Tier 4 model, and that means not only lower fuel consumption, but it's more environmentally friendly. Propelled by a pair of triple grouser tracks. It has a high speed of 3.2 miles per hour and a low speed of 2 metres per minute. These tracks are available as rubberised or as pure steel tracks. The reason Vermeer use these tracks is that they give more stability on uneven terrain and better grip in slippery conditions. This is Ross. He's been operating and driving this machine since it was delivered over 12 months ago. And I'd like to ask Ross, what's it like?
Comfortable, easy to use.
Are you happy to take the cameraman up in the cab with you for a bit of a ride?
Yep.
Okay, let's go. I'm with Andrew Thompson, who founded Compost UK, I think nearly over a decade ago now, was it Andrew?
Yes, it was about 12 years ago we started.
Can you tell us a bit about Compost UK?
Well, we started processing in about 2001 after the year foot and mouth hit UK farmers, and we decided that we had to do something different. We saw an article about composting and we thought we'd give it a try, and of course the rest is history. We're now processing 40,000 tonnes of garden waste a year, and we've reduced it to past 100.
Okay. Now I met you on a visit to Vermeer Netherlands about 2 years ago, and I think you were looking at one or two of our competitors' machines. But can you tell us what it was about the 1010 that caught your attention?
Well, basically it was the fact that it slowly takes the material from one side to the other and puts a lot of air in that compost, in that green waste material. And that allows the bugs to get right the way through the material. Using some of the competitors' machines, they tend to shred off any bits of plastic or anything else that's in the material, and thus making it smaller. So therefore we looked at the CT1010 because it did very much less shredding than other side turners. We had to go for a side turner because we're very limited on space in this car.
Yes. Okay. Now, we've had a very difficult last 12 months, which I'm sure you appreciate. And can you tell us anything about that?
Well, it had been very wet. It took almost 2 weeks to get the green waste composting material up to 65 degrees, which is what it's needed to get it sanitized and cleaned up. So therefore, with it being very green and wet and heavy, all it wants to do in farmers' terms, it wants to make silage.
Right.
And of course silage is made anaerobically, and therefore it starts to smell, and there's lots of other problems. But we did manage within the 2 weeks to get it up to temperature, whereas if we'd been turning it with a loading shovel or anything else, it could have taken 3 or 4 weeks. And because space is at a premium on this site, we couldn't afford just to do that. We needed to get material through the yard as quickly as possible, but still to be mature enough to pass the stringent PAS 100 tests at the end of it.
Now, you achieved PAS 100 fairly recently, didn't you?
About 12 months ago, and PAS 100 is basically, it allows us to sell the compost off as a product. It is no longer a waste. It can go to any farmer's land as a product, and we don't need the expensive licenses from the Environment Agency.